play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew and Rob here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to this special playthrough of The Edge Dawnfall. This is a game by Awaken Realms. We're going to put links in the video description below so you can get information on this game, because it is pretty darn awesome. It is a steampunk slash horror slash fantasy board slash miniatures slash card game. It's one of those, we've seen a lot of these hybrid games come out in the past few years where, you know, it mixes miniatures with board game mechanics with cards and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those, except it has, I don't want to just say it's one of those because it's got fantastic looking miniatures. It's got a really neat game system.
And a great campaign.
And a really cool campaign system, which we are going to be doing, but not today's video. Rob and I have actually already played a bunch of games. So we've actually filmed these out of order. We filmed an entire campaign, and they have a really neat narrative campaign system, which I'm not going to go through right now, and we filmed a bunch of that. And so we've actually played this game a lot, so that allows us in this game, which will be the first one that you're going to see, to explain the rules as we play, to tell you how the game works. This is not going to be a how to play. I'm going to try to beat the crap out of Rob and vice versa. And but we will talk about the rules as we go along. So if you're not familiar with this game at all, this should serve as a good introduction to you for The Edge Dawnfall. And like I said, after you've watched this, check out the links in the video description below to go and find out more about this game and how you can procure yourself a copy as well. Awaken Realms, just a really quick thing. They've actually worked with us for the past few years, and Rob and I played this game a couple of years ago in its first edition form. It's changed, I'd say, quite a bit since first edition. Not only how much it's expanded since their last Kickstarter, but in that the rules have been refined as well.
And the character cards have changed too a lot.
Yeah, it's basically, it feels like it's like in a second edition mode, I want to say. So if you're coming into it now, the nice thing is it's already kind of gotten to that point where it's been more refined and there's a ton of content available for it. But Awaken Realms is also a painting commission studio. They've been doing a lot of stuff for us in our painting partner program. So you may have heard of them before, and they still are a painting commission studio as well. Like I said, links below for all that information. I don't want to take too long in this intro, probably already have. Let's just jump into it. Let's take a look at the game, and let's just start walking through the different aspects of it and start playing. The game is played on this board. Now I need to, I just noticed that you have it on the opposite side of the board, and it has an interesting, yeah, so to us this is new. For you guys, this is also new. Anyways, you can see that the board is divided into all these different hexes. There's two types. The big hex is called a space, and then the small ones are called hexes. So if a guy is right here, and it says he can move 2, it means he can move 2 spaces. So he can move within this hex for free, or he can go 1, 2. And when he moves there, he can move into any place that he wants. Now, some of the models take up more space, like this Gore Hound from the Demons faction. And so there has to be room for him in each space. You can't overlap the 2 spaces. So as if he goes in here, but if there was no room for him to place there, then he can't go in there. Now, there is pushing, which allows you to move a model that is smaller than you, which you will probably see happen a few times. Mm-hmm. But essentially, you move around like that. And then you have like the big models like this Son of Kyber, who takes up the entire one. So he'll only be able to move in spaces where there's nothing there unless he pushes it out. For example, pushing, if anything's smaller, I can just basically move it to anywhere adjacent to him. It has to be the shortest possible. So you'll see him probably do that a lot to get more guys into base contact with him. Base contact is still, you have to be next to each other. So like, for example, this Son of Kyber and this Dark Scholar are not next to each other. So he wouldn't be able to fight it. Not that I'd want to fight my own guys anyways, but if it says they have to be in base contact for any abilities, this is not base contact, this is. So the only way for the Son of Kyber to get in base contact with him would be to move into his hex and push him so that he'll then be next to him. So that's a really cool mechanic as well. I don't want to overwhelm you yet with rules, just trying to give you the basic idea of what the board looks like. Each unit has a card that has 2 sides, a basic mode and a shifted mode, which will be different things. Ritual mode for the Dark Scholar, astral mode for the Gore Hound. And they each have 4 statistics. The first one's initiative. So whoever has the highest initiative fights first. In the case of a tie, it's whoever's turn it is. The attack modifier, so +0 for the Dark Scholars. The defense modifier, so +1 for the Dark Scholars. And how many spaces they can move. And then over here you can see their endurance. So this is basically, this shared amongst a unit, and this tells you how many there are, which is 3 of them. And so essentially, the first time they take a wound, they lose the endurance for the squad, and the next time they take a wound, then they would start dying. And the bigger guys, like the Son of Kyber, he's got 4 endurance, but there's only 1 guy. Where you got this group of bloodsmiths, they're only 1 endurance with 3 guys, and so on and so forth. Often the flipped mode, it tells you right here whether you're allowed to flip. You'll notice the Bloodsmith does not have that because he needs a special card to flip. Or in the case of one of Rob's, it'll have this little arrow, plus it'll have a number of crystals that you have to spend. But the flip side usually either buffs them or allows them to activate different abilities. So example, for the Dark Scholars, you'll notice all their stats get lower, but they go into ritual mode. So there are certain cards they can only use while they're in ritual mode. The game focuses around collecting and using these power crystals. Typically you start with 2 in each game, but because I'm bringing Bloodsmiths, that gives Rob an additional crystal, and because he's bringing the Purge Doctors, I get an extra 2 because they're considered elite squads. So other than that though, you just bring 5 in a normal game, in a normal non-campaign game, you just choose 5 units to bring out of your collection. And so whatever you happen to have, this is what you can bring. And I think it's, there's limitations on each thing. Like when you look at each faction has a sheet right here that shows all you can bring. So I could bring 1, 2, 3, 4 squads of Dark Scholars, or 1, 2, 3, 4 squads of Gore Hounds, 2 Masters of Element. And it looks like even, oh wait, no, that's showing the opposite side. So yeah, it looks like 1 Sonic Kyber, 1 Master of Elements, 2 Gore Hounds, and 2 Dark Scholars, and 1 Bloodsmiths. So that's your limitations right there. Everybody also has a banner, which we'll get into as the game goes on. So yeah, so what I have is, I'm playing the Demon faction, and Rob is playing the Chapter faction. The Demon faction is just what it sounds like, bad demons. And the Chapter faction is your good guys, knights, and pilgrims, and all that kind of stuff, which we'll go over in a second. So I brought a Son of Kyber, who is big, strong, and nasty. I brought a unit of Bloodsmiths, a unit of Dark Scholars, and 2 Gore Hounds. And you'll kind of get to know all their abilities. In addition to this, you build a deck of 25 cards. The really cool thing about this is that, as you can see here, that's all my cards. I had a lot of cards to choose from, and that's 25. And I'll tell you that was a hard part of the game.
It was very difficult.
Was choosing which 25 cards I want. Every card has a top and a bottom. The top can be used by any of your squads, and the bottom will then specify. Some of them will say any squad, but this one, for example, can only be used by the Bloodsmith. And it tells you the crystals you have to spend in order to use it. 1 crystal. So basically, you can either you use the top effect or you use the bottom effect. So I'm going to cut this deck. I'll reshuffle it before we play. So essentially, you have a hand, and you have to decide which cards you're going to use throughout your hand, and then you refresh that hand at the end of your turn and your opponent's turn. So that is my side. This is our victory point tracker. So in the normal game, basically it scales. Whenever I get a victory point, it goes towards my side. If he gets one, it goes back towards his side. The game ends if you ever get it to your side completely, or there's other ways that the game ends as well. So then on Rob's side, we've got the Chapter. And so you can see he's got a big guy as well. This is the Angel of Faith, I believe it's called. Angel of Death, even better. And we've got 2 Holy Knights. They're very strong. You'll notice that they cost 2 crystals in order to be able to shift. And then the Purge Doctors. And they're very scary as well and have all sorts of abilities that I've never seen yet because we haven't actually played with those models. And then a unit of 4 Pilgrims. That'll be his basic squad. That'll be going around collecting crystals and fighting. And he's got his 25 cards and his banner as well. And that's the basic. We're gonna just play, and you can just see how it all works. But we're gonna play a very just standard game, straight out of the rule book, no special scenario, and show off exactly how cool this game is. The rules walk you through how to set up your game, and so we've already done some of these. It tells you how to set up your board, the dice, the crystals, all that. Now we're going to determine the first player. So we each roll the red die. So there's 2 types of dice, well 3 types, but 2 types that you're going to see a lot, red and yellow dice. The yellow die is a 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The red die is your standard D6. Now there are these cog symbols on them. You're going to learn what those mean soon. But basically the red dice are better than the yellow dice. So we each roll a red die. I got a 5, and Rob gets a 1. Whoever rolls higher becomes the first player and receives the My Turn token. So it is my turn. And then it'll actually affect setup and everything else as we go along. Technically at this point is when we choose our factions, plant our banners, and choose our squads, distribute endurance tokens, and prepare our action decks, but we just decided that before the game started, and I don't think there's a problem with that. Now, there's a positioning player and the countering player. The first player chooses whether to be the positioning player or the countering player. The countering player gets to go first, but the positioning player gets some pretty nice benefits in being able to move one of their squads before the game begins. I'm going to choose to be the positioning player, because I think that'll be better for me, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to And so I'm going to pass my turn to the countering player to represent this choice. So you'll actually go first. We now place our shrines. We each have a special thing like this that goes on one of the spots. And they have to be placed at least 2 spaces from each other. And they have to be in a single space. Now it starts with the positioning player. Now one thing I want to point out is there's no deployment zones. You're going to see us deploying back and forth. And so don't think of this side as my side and that side as his side. It's just not the way it is. And so you kind of have to get that out of your mind. So I'm going to put my shrine smack dab in the middle here. And now Rob gets to place his shrine. It has to be at least 2 spaces away, so there has to be 2 spaces between his shrine and my shrine. Now, they both have effects. My shrine, for example, if I hurt somebody who's next to my shrine, they take an extra wound. His allows him to charge up his guys and get some extra benefits. We now place crystal sources. These guys, there's 4 of them in total. We just go back and forth, placing them, same rules as the shrine. Go back and forth. I start. I will place one there. Rob gets to place one. It's going to put it there. So they have to be two spaces away. And then I will place another one right here. Rob will place one last one. Can't be there. That's too close to the other one.
Oh yes, 2 spaces away.
2 spaces.
Right.
So you're looking at somewhere over here at this point.
I'm going to put it right here.
Right there. Done. So you can see how they're distributed on the table. Next up, we deploy our models. And so we will take it in turn setting up our squads. And the positioning player places the first squad. When you place a squad, it has to be, like I said before, wholly within a model has to be placed wholly within a space. It cannot be placed adjacent to any of these special tiles. And when you place a unit, you place the first guy, like I'm not saying this is going to be my placement, but I had to place them all in base contact with each other, but they could go over more than one space. So if I could deploy that way, for example. So I'm going to place my Dark Scholars right here. Now remember, this is not my side, so Rob is welcome to place guys over here. He can't place them in base contact with any enemy models either, though.
I'm going to place my pilgrims.
Filthy pilgrims.
And they're just going to go right here.
I will place one of my Gore Hounds right here. Notice how he's staying within the space. He can't have overlapped.
I'm going to put one of my Holy Knights right here.
My other Gore Hound is going to go right here.
I'm going to place my other Holy Knight right here.
My Bloodsmiths are going to be all deployed right in here. Actually, I'm going to keep them in the same space.
I'm going to place
Purge Doctors.
Purge Doctors.
Now, they have to be touching each other. They can't touch the shrine.
Oh,
and each model has to be wholly within a space. So that right there is not legal.
No, it has to spin this way.
But the other one could be outside of the
Yes.
space that the other one was in. As
Right
long
there.
as each model has to stay within a space. And lastly, the son of Kyber, who Rob is terrified of for good reason.
I do not like him.
I do not like him. Not one bit. We'll go right there, I think. Yeah. Wait, yep, nope, wait. Yeah. And the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death.
I am your Angel of Death.
Let's put the Angel of Death right here.
Come to me, Angel of Death. And then we place victory marker faction tokens. Already did that. Prepare crystal pools. Already did that. There's really no reason that has to happen afterwards. And then we draw our starting hands. We each start with 3 cards from our action decks. These are, of course, kept secret from your opponent. So that's my cards. I'll explain them once we use them. Next, we go to starting the match. We have a dispersal before we actually get our first turn. The positioning player may now move one of their squads. So it's important to talk about moving at this point. When you move a squad, they don't have to stay together. There's no coherency. But each member of the squad can move separate from the other ones. When it's your turn and you're activating a squad, basically in your turn you can act on an active turn. You can activate one squad, move, and attack with it. So each of them can move and each of them can initiate combat. So I'm going to use my reactionary thing to move my 3 Dark Scholars. And that way I'm going to move him. They can move how many spaces? 2 spaces? So he's going to move here. And this one will move. I could move into base contact with you if I wanted to, but I don't want to. You know what? Actually, I'm going to move him here. I'll do a bit of blocking. Okay, so they're going to move there. That way I'm prepared next to crystal pools. As you're going to see, that's very important as the game continues. Although he is right next to me, so he might be able to shut that down anyways. After that, we've got the first turn, so now we're playing. So, good luck, Rob.
Thank you.
Have fun, because you've got the first turn.
Yes.
Now, when it's your turn, you have to make a decision. Do I want to do an active turn where you actively do things, or do I want to do a passive turn where I refresh all of my abilities and stuff? This is actually a very key component of the game. Now, there's no reason that Rob's going to take a passive turn on his first one, but I might take a passive turn on my first one, as you'll see in a moment. So, when you're in an active turn, you can play cards, use your banner card, and activate one of your squads. In a passive turn, you don't get to do any of that. You get to harvest crystals, charge up your enhancement, refresh crystals, and refresh your banner. So as you're going to see, this will make more sense as we play. So I'm assuming, Rob, you want to start with an active turn?
Yes.
Okay. So as a reminder, there's 3 things Rob can do during his active turn, and it doesn't have to be done in any particular order. He can use his banner. Once you use your banner, you flip it over, and once you take a passive turn, you can then flip it back over again. He can use the cards in his hand. I can't use cards in my hand unless it specifically says that I can on the opponent's turn. And he can also activate one single squad. They all get to move and all get to initiate combat if they so desire.
On my turn, I'm going to activate my pilgrims.
How far can they move?
Pilgrims can move 2. I'm going to just...
So that was 2 spaces. He moves 1 space.
Yep.
Oh, you're getting
I'm going for gold.
gutsy. Getting gutsy. Yeah, the nice thing is you have the same initiative as my big guy, which means you'll actually get to fight him first before he hits you back. So they're all going to attack?
Certainly.
So basically, when a model initiates combat, he can initiate combat with an enemy that's in base contact. You look at the initiatives. Whoever has higher initiative gets to actually strike first. Both sides get to do the fight. And since it's Rob's turn, he gets to choose the order. But each fight happens, so he strikes, I strike back. He strikes, I strike back. He strikes, I strike back. So he could actually take some serious damage here, but he might also get a good few rolls off and start to hurt me pretty bad.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Whack-a-mole, I should
Whack-a-mole,
say.
whack-a-mole.
Yep.
All right, so which pilgrim would like to go first?
I'm going to start with him.
The one at the back and just work your way forward?
Yes.
Okay. So we look here, basically the pilgrim's going to roll a die, add 1. I'm going to roll a die, add 1. And he has to beat my roll in order to inflict a wound. Whenever he inflicts a wound, I lose an endurance token. If all my endurance tokens are gone and he inflicts a wound, that kills me. So then essentially he has to inflict 5 wounds on him to kill him. But each of them gets to do that. And he's got 1 endurance token. So the first time I inflict a wound on him, it'll just be an endurance token. So I could actually kill 3 of his guys if I get super, super lucky here, because you can see my attack is +3 versus their defense of +1. So whenever you roll an attack die or a defense die, you have to make a choice. Do you use the yellow die for free, or you can pay one of your crystals, which would then go into your depleted crystal pile. It's still your crystals, and you can get them back on a passive turn or through other abilities, and roll the red die. You've got to decide this before you roll. So your first attack, you're going to be +1 versus +1. Yellow or red?
My hand feels hot today, so I'm just picking the yellow.
Okay, so go ahead and roll it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you actually rolled one of the symbols that has the cog on it. So what that means is he has 2 choices. In this case, really just 1, but we'll talk about them anyways. If you ever roll the cog, then you can actually spend a crystal to re-roll, or if you've got depleted crystals, you can actually just keep the roll and replenish one of your crystals. So the question is, would you like to spend a crystal to re-roll?
I'm certainly going to re-roll.
Yeah, because a 0 I can't not beat.
Here it goes. Hot hand, hot hand.
Still 0.
Ah.
Now you can't do this second time.
I know.
So I'm still going to roll even though you can't hurt me because I get a +1 and you got a 1 essentially. You rolled a 0 plus your 1 attack. But I want to see if... Wait, no, it doesn't matter because I have no cogs to get back. So there's no reason for me to roll. And now I get to do my reaction and hit you back. We do complete this before moving on to the next combat. I am going to spend a crystal to use a red die. I get +3 to my attack. Ooh. So I got the cog, so I could actually get that crystal back, or I could spend a crystal to re-roll. That's a hard choice this early on. I think I will spend a crystal to re-roll. 6. Okay, so you can't possibly beat that, so you might as well roll the yellow die to see if you get a cog, so you could get your 1 crystal back at least.
Please, please.
You did, so you get your crystal back, but you did take a wound, so that endurance token is gone. So the next time any pilgrims are wounded, they're dead. And that's shared amongst all of them. It's not one endurance per pilgrim. Next fight. And remember, Rob can actually decide to give up at any point. He doesn't have to declare all the fights beforehand. So next one fighting.
I'm certainly going to fight. Gonna sell a crystal.
Spend a crystal, use the red die.
Yep. I have to.
2, you did roll the cog, so you can keep the 2, get that crystal back, or you can try to re-roll with another crystal.
I'm gonna keep it and just
refresh?
Yep, refresh.
Okay, so you got 3 in total. So I'm gonna have to roll also a 2 on a die. The yellow die could do that, but you know what? I'm gonna roll the yellow die. I feel lucky.
0, 0.
Oh, I didn't even get a 0. I'd rather get a 0 than a 1, because then at least refresh a crystal. So I unfortunately do lose an endurance on my Son of Kyber. I will hit you back just with a yellow die. 4, so that's a 7 in total. You would have to use a red die in order to even defend that, because you need to roll 6 plus your 1. So the question is, do you spend a crystal?
No.
No, so you're not even gonna bother. And there's no reason to roll because it's not like you can get it back.
Yep.
So you're out of endurance, so the second guy is dead. Now, whenever a model dies, you get a victory point. Boop, just like that. Now, I should point out that if you don't have crystals or don't want to spend crystals, there's 2 other ways that you can do exactly the same thing. You can spend victory points, so I can push it back towards you instead of using a crystal, or I can burn an endurance on any of the models in order to boost any type of roll. Now, it's dangerous to burn endurance and to use victory, so you won't see us do that too often, but it is an option. Third attacker?
Third attack, and I'm going to do my crystal again.
Might as well.
Give me a 6!
Ooh,
Five
well,
isn't
that
bad.
5 plus 1 is a 6.
Cog, but, you know, it's better.
I don't like all the damage that you're doing to me already this early in the game, so I am tempted to... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use a crystal. And, oh, the way I can use a red die. So I have to roll 5 or higher as well. 3. Ooh. I don't, so I lose another endurance. So you're actually doing good damage to my Son of Kyber.
And no cog wheel either.
No cog to even get a crystal back. I'm going to hit you back just using the yellow die. Plus 3. Oh, another 7! So you got to use a red die if you want to defend.
I am.
You are. Okay, so you use a card or crystal. You got to roll a 6.
Here goes 6, baby!
6!
Yes!
Oh,
Woo!
you defended. Okay. So then you have the last attack with the last model. Do you want to use your last crystal to use a red die or just roll that yellow die?
Just use yellow.
Okay, because you've been burning through your crystals pretty bad.
Here goes, and...
3! That's a 4. Well, I will use my last crystal to turn this into a red die because I'm going to need to roll 3 or higher.
Nope. 2.
I can't re-roll it unless I burn a victory point or an endurance to re-roll it. You know what? I'm just going to get a crystal back and take the hit. Oh, I've lost 3 endurance.
Oh yeah, I like this.
Yeah, you've hurt him pretty bad.
Yep.
So I'm going to use that last crystal then to hit you back with the red die. And you can't possibly defend that, so you might as well just throw the yellow die and see if you get one of your crystals back.
Crystal!
You do.
Yes.
So you refresh one of your crystals.
At least I got that.
And then he dies, giving me another victory point, bringing me that closer to victory. That unit is done. So you basically, at this point, can use your banner or use cards.
I'm going to play a card.
Let's see it.
The bottom one.
The bottom one. Any squad pays 1 crystal, trap, attach a trap token to an enemy model. They're blocked until I pay 2 crystals. Blocked means I can't move them in any way. You have to pay a crystal to use that.
I'm paying my crystal and you are trapped.
He plays a trap on my Son of Kyber, and he is not able to move until I spend 2 crystals. Any other cards?
Nope.
You need to use your banner.
Actually, I may play one more card, come to think of it.
And you're going to play this card. You're going to use the top one.
Yep.
Move. Move with all models in one of your squads. 0 crystals. You can use that to get the pilgrims out of dodge.
I'm getting them out of dodge, that's right.
Because you know I was just going to smack them. I'm like, all right, I'll stay next to you already. Bam, bam.
And you can't move because you're trapped unless
That's
you
correct.
spend 2 crystals.
That's
so I'm
right.
moving 2 spaces with them.
1, 2, and 1, 2. They don't have to stay together. They could actually go totally different directions if they wanted to. Any other cards you're going to use?
Nope, I'm just going to replenish my cards up to 3 and that ends my turn.
Also, Rob has the option to discard one of his cards from his hand if he wanted to before he replenished. But I should point out that once all the cards in your 25 card deck are gone, the game ends. So you have to be careful about that. So you're just going to replenish back up to 3 and pass the play to me?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
That was Rob's turn. I'm going to go for a passive turn because I've used all my crystals So in a passive turn, a few things happen. First, you can harvest. You harvest a crystal from every of the crystal sources that you control. You control one by having at least one model in base contact and no enemies in base contact. This one counts as a source as well. This one does not. It's in their rules. So I'm going to harvest first. So I've got 3 crystals controlled. So I get to draw 3 more crystals from the neutral pile. And this, of course, worries Rob once I start really racking it up like this. The second thing I can do is charge any enhancements. Enhancements are cards that you actually attach to specific squads. I don't have any. You refresh your crystals. So I'm back up to 7. And then I can refresh my banner as well. So if I had used my banner, then I would flip it back. But that's all you can do. I can't spend any of my cards. I don't get to discard cards or anything else. So it's a very defensive, passive turn. But hopefully will put me in a good position next turn or during Rob's turn to do some damage. So the question comes to Rob, active or passive? He currently controls 1 crystal source and he only has 1 active crystal in his pile. So there's a kind of a reason to go passive, but at the same time, Rob really wants to keep walloping me.
Yes.
Because he did a good amount of damage to me.
On my turn, I'm going to go passive because I want to get my crystals back and then get 1 more because I am controlling one of the spots.
Okay, so basically you harvest a crystal and refresh your crystals, so you're up to 4 crystals now. And you would refresh your banner and enhance and add enhancements, but we're done there. So we both take a passive turn, and now we're ready to go again. I am definitely taking an active turn now. There's really no, there is a reason to take another passive turn because I could then rack up another 3 crystals and really get up there. But now that Rob's been refreshed, I know he's going to go on the offensive, so I got to get ready for that. First thing I'm going to do is pay the 2 crystals to unblock my Son of Kyber, which Rob is both happy to see me spend crystals and sad to see the Son of Kyber unblocked. Am I correct?
Yes.
Mixed feelings?
I'm so, yes and no. It's...
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to activate the Son of Kyber. He has a movement of 3, so I'm going to show you pushing here. 1, 2, 3. So I move this model to anywhere in base contact with me, getting him off the crystal, and also getting them both in base contact with me. And then I'm going to initiate combat. Now he only gets to attack one of them, so I'll attack this one, not that it matters. I will spend one of my crystals to make sure I wallop him good, give him less chance to hit me back. +3 to my attack. We got 6 in total, so you get +1 to your defense, so you'd have to roll a red die to stop that. Would you like to spend a crystal to try to keep him alive, or are you just going to accept his fate?
I'm going to spend a crystal to try to keep him alive. Why not?
Why not? You roll a 5. 6!
Yes!
You keep him alive!
Woo!
Now he can hit me back. So when you go to hit me back, you want to boost it with a crystal to make it a red die?
I'm boosting it to make a red die because I want to... You're moving in to attack me, you push me, so I'm going to go for revenge.
Do it.
Do it!
+1, so that's a 5. So I had to roll either really high on the yellow die or roll on the red die because I'm down to 1 endurance. You're actually hurting my Son of Kyber pretty badly. And you got a 5. You actually beat me. You took off my last endurance token. Yikes. I'm going to use this card, Bloody Whirlwind. It's 1 crystal. The Son of Kyber may perform 1 combat for each endurance token he has lost. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
I've lost 4 endurance tokens, so he gets to fight 4 times. But he's also almost dead. You could kill him right now. Obviously going to boost my attack because I don't want you to hit me back. +3. That's an 8. So you can't actually beat that. So you might as well throw the yellow die, see if you get a crystal back.
I need a crystal back!
Nope.
No.
So this one dies, and then I will attack the other one using my last crystal, even though I want to use it defensively. So if he's dead, he can't hit me back. Oh, okay. Well, I can't re-roll, so I'll refresh a crystal at least for rolling that. So that's a 5 in total. So you either have to roll 4 on the yellow or boost it for the red one to get a better chance of that. What would you like to do?
I don't know.
Oh, I got a victory point for killing that last guy too.
I'm just going to do the yellow.
All right, just
Get a
accepting his
crystal.
fate.
Yeah, just accept it. 1 die left.
2.
And I didn't get it.
And you don't get a crystal either.
Ah!
So he dies. I get another victory point. Son of Kyber is very vulnerable right now, though, with no endurance. I'm actually going to discard one of my cards so that I can replenish my deck. Although I could. No, I don't need to use my Demon Banner. My Demon Banner lets me choose 1 demon and attack everything in base contact with it. So often I use it on the Son of Kyber, or move the Son of Kyber. But I don't think the Son of Kyber is in any position to get attacked right now, Because even the Angel of Death only moves 6 when she flies. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess she could get there. But do I go super defensive with the Son of Kyber at this point? I think I need to, actually. You know what? I'm going to use my Demon Banner to move the Son of Kyber. And it'll be a bit of a cowardly move for him, but he is going to move back into this corner. Because he's almost dead. I will then refresh my deck up to 3 and pass play to Rob. Rob, active or passive turn?
Active.
Yeah, you currently don't control any crystals. Yeah. And you've got 2 crystals depleted and 2 crystals in the bank. So active turn it is.
My Purge Doctors plural, are going to move. They can move up to 2. So I am going to go...
Now, one thing I should point out before Rob goes any further is one thing that I didn't mention that I could have done, but I think I would have chosen not to do anyways, is when you activate a squad, you could, if they have the option to shift or to switch to their other mode, you can do that. So when I activated the Son of Kyber, I could have shifted him over to this one, and then he would still be +3, but he'd go down to +0 defense. He can move 4 though, but that little symbol there means I could re-roll my attack dice. So it would make him much more offensive. But I don't think I would have done this anyways because it would put me in a more precarious situation to die. But I just want to point that out. The Bloodsmiths don't have that ability. All these other ones could do it as well. There's usually some sort of disadvantage to flipping and some sort of advantage as well. So Rob could choose right now if he wanted to, before moving the Purge Doctors, to switch them. I'm not sure what their other mode does, so I don't even know if he wants to do that. The Purge Doctors, for example, you can see their stats here, 1, 1, 1, 2. When they flip it, they go into defense mode, which goes 1, 1, 4, 1. So their defense goes from +2 to +4, which is a huge defense, but their movement goes down to 1. And there may be certain cards that he can only use when in defensive mode or when in basic mode. I'm not quite sure exactly what his deck involves, but certain ones have that kind of thing. So what's your choice? Are you going to flip it?
I am. I'm going to flip my Purge Doctor.
Go into defense mode, get that extra defense, but lower their speed.
Oh, yeah.
Basically means I have to use red dice to attack them.
This little Purge Doctor is moving here.
That's 1 space. He was there and he moved there. These guys can move 1 space each.
And this little Purge Doctor.
No, you can't cover more than 1 space.
Oh, that's right. So 1 space, he can go here.
And then the other one can move 1 space.
And he can go here.
And now they can attack. Who would like to initiate combat first?
Let's do this guy first.
So attacking this Dark Scholar?
Yes. Correction.
Attack here first?
Yes, I'm attacking.
Yeah, the reason Rob has changed his mind is because the first wound that he inflicts on me is going to be an endurance token, and he'd like to kill both of them.
Yes.
So if he attacks him and takes the wound token off, and then he attacks and kills him, then this guy has nobody to attack. And they're not too worried about getting hurt right now. As you can see, they've activated those shields that are going around them. So I'll have him attack the Dark Scholar first. Yellow die or red die?
Yellow die.
I've got a +1 defense.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? I better do that because
You really want
I know
him dead?
my rolling skills.
All right, so you get +1 attack.
And kabam!
So 3, you can spend a crystal to re-roll that, or you can refresh a crystal.
I'm refreshing it.
Okay, so you got 3 in total.
Yes.
So I'm just going to roll a yellow die. I need to roll a 2 just like you did. I rolled 3, so I defended it. So who wants to attack next? Basically, if you can, now you can only remove one of these at most.
Yes.
Which one would you rather have removed? Does it matter to you?
It don't really
It doesn't
matter.
really. So you attack here.
Yeah.
Crystal or no crystal?
Crystal.
All right, red die then. +1. That's a 4. So I'd have to roll a 3 or higher on the yellow die. Yeah, I'll roll it.
0.
4. Oh, I defended. You know what? I never actually swung back the first time.
Oh,
now I can't
right.
hurt you unless I use a red die because I have a +0 attack. So the highest I could roll on a yellow die is a 4, and your defense is +4. So the lowest you can roll is a 4. And all I would be doing is giving you chances to refresh your crystals. And so let me see if I have a choice to hit back or not. Because if I have a choice not to hit back, I'm going to not, because I don't want you to refresh crystals. Yeah, it says he may then perform a counterattack, so I don't have to. So I'm not going to swing back at you, because I'd have to use a red die. So go ahead, you can do your last attack right here.
I'm going to.
You going to use your last crystal to boost it?
No, I'm just using the yellow one.
Just giving up?
Well, not giving up, but
1! So that's a 2. You know what? I'm going to use my crystal to... No. I'm gonna save that one for attacking you back. No, because then you could refresh a crystal. Now I'm gonna use it just to defend. So you rolled a 1, so you got 2 in total.
yes.
So I can't fail this, because the lowest I can roll is 1, but I might be able to refresh a crystal. Hey, look at that.
Of course.
Yay, crystals refreshed. Yay, demons. Unfortunately, that was a pretty bad amount of luck for you. But at least your defense made it so there was no chance of me doing any damage back to you.
Yes.
Now Rob wants to use his banner, so he has two options. He can restore an endurance token to the Angel of Death. It's at full health, so he can't. Or he can change mode of any one chapter squad card.
I'm going to, and I'm going to change mode for Holy Knight.
Yeah, normally it costs 2 crystals too, but I'm assuming the banner lets you do that for free. We're just going to assume that. So this Holy Knight or that Holy Knight?
This gentleman here has the sword, so it's this Holy Knight right here.
Okay, so you want it to be that one.
Yes.
So this gets used. You'll notice that it has no effect until the passive turn, which you're probably going to be taking soon anyways. Maybe, although you don't control any crystals. And are you going to use any cards?
I certainly am. I am going to use the move card.
So 0 crystals, move with all models in 1 chapter squad. So the upgrade mode, Holy Knight's going to move. He can move 2 spaces.
And he is going to just
Move
him right
just
here.
use that to move him within the same space.
Actually, no, my bad. I don't want to move him. I'm going to move him instead. I'm just going to move
Yeah, you might as well have the non-charging
Yes.
guy go to there. You're all done using cards?
All done using cards.
Do you want to discard one of them before you refresh?
No, I'm not discarding. I'm just refreshing.
Back up to 3 and passes to my turn. Well, given my current situation, I am going to take a passive turn, which means I will refresh my banner. I will get back all of my crystals. And I no longer control these 2, but I do control this one and this one, which means I will get 2 more crystals from the neutral pile. Once that neutral pile runs out, that is all of them. Now, it doesn't usually happen. And that is it. I don't have any enhancements to charge up, so I am done. Active or passive?
I need my crystal. I was planning on being active, but...
Well, actually, you're probably planning on being passive. You're probably hoping on killing the 2 Dark Scholars and be like, hey, I've got 3 crystals now.
Yeah.
But right now, you only control 1. But you've used your banner, you've used most of your crystals. Which do you do?
I'm just going to be passive.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So you harvest 1 crystal.
Can I replenish these?
And you replenish those, and you replenish your banner. And you're done. I am going to take an active turn, and I'm going to activate the Bloodsmiths. And they're going to move 2 spaces. So I'm going to have this one move to here. This one move 1, 2, and this one will move to here as well. And then I will fight. I will start with this Bloodsmith. And then I will have this Bloodsmith attack first against that one. I'm going to spend a crystal to use attack, which gives me +2 to my attack roll, and another crystal to boost it with a red die. Going all out here. So I've got a +5 to my die roll. Take that.
+5?
Well, I've got +3, and then I spent a card to make it a +5. Still, you have a +4 defense, man. Oh, it's a cog. I'm re-rolling.
No,
Spending a
no,
crystal to
no.
re-roll.
1.
2. Well, I got slightly better. So that's a 7. So you get a +4, so you only have to roll 3 or higher on one of the dice. Yellow or red die?
I'm going red.
Red? Okay, roll 3 or higher. Go for it.
Shaboom!
You did it. Congratulations. Wow, +2 attack for nothing, eh? So now you get to hit back against this guy. Red or yellow die? Red?
I am doing red.
You get +1 versus my +1. You got a monkey? So you got a 3, so you get a 4 in total. I am going to spend a crystal to try to stay alive. I also have to roll 3. The nice thing here is either I roll the 3+ or I get a crystal back. I roll 3, so you don't hurt me. I ain't done yet. This one is going to attack next, and I will use a red die. Just a +3 though. Ooh. Yeah, I will re-roll it using a crystal. There we go.
Oh no!
9.
No.
I did use one of my crystals though. So now you have to roll 5 or higher. You can use a crystal to actually be able to do it, or just
No.
roll the yellow die, hope to get a,
I'm just hoping to get a cog.
hoping to roll a 0. Yeah,
Yep.
you get one of your crystals back at least. And I take off one of the endurances, and then you get to hit back. You got your +1 versus my +1. You're gonna spend a crystal to use the
Spend
red die.
crystal, that's right.
You roll a 5, so that's a 6. The only way I can stop it is by spending a crystal. You know what? I'm going for broke here. So yeah, I'll spend a crystal. I only get 1 endurance on my guys. I'm not tough like you. And I roll a 3. I don't even get anything, no cog, and so I lose my endurance. So now the Bloodsmiths are going to start to die next time. Well, I ain't done. This Bloodsmith is going to attack the same one. Doesn't really matter because you've got endurance tokens left and they're both the same. I will spend a crystal with your +4 defense. And +3. Well, that's a 9,
Oh.
so you're going to have to roll 5 or higher with your +4. Do you want to spend a crystal to make that a red die?
No, I'm gonna wing it.
So you can't. So you're just going to lose an endurance then.
I'm gonna lose an
And
endurance.
hope to roll a 0 to get a
A
crystal back.
cartwheel.
Nope.
No.
So you lose your last endurance and your purge doctors. So now any more hits will kill them. Okay, I spent too many crystals. I was hoping to get a few of them back, but I did. Yeah, I took your two endurance off in exchange for one of my endurance. So I'm going to discard a card. So go down to 1, and I'm going to redraw back up to 3. Hold on a second. Before I do that, do I want to move the Son of Kyber? Because I'd have to use the banner right now. Because the question is, am I going passive next turn? And let me check. No, not doing it. I just realized that I was misleading you a little bit. We've done it correctly, but the number of victory points that you gain for killing somebody is equal to their endurance tokens. So I did this right because the pilgrims are only 1. But for each of these guys, for example, that I kill, I get 2 victory points. So if I killed one and more of those, I'd actually win the game.
Ooh, that's not good.
No. So I'm still going to just do what I said. I'm not going to spend this banner. I don't really need to. Because if I could attack one more time, I could go for broke and make it a red die and hope to beat you. You've got crystals, though, to make it a red die. So you're more likely to kill one of my guys and then start to move the victory track back.
No.
I don't know what to do!
I've never killed one of your guys yet.
No, you haven't.
No. So.
I think you're pretty close to it now, though. Most of my guys have lost their endurance. So I'm not going to do it. And you're wondering, hey, you can't attack again. I can, actually. I had a card that I could spend. Oh, but I had to spend a crystal to the card. Or I could use a demon banner. I could choose one demon, and he can perform combat with everybody he's in base contact with. Ah! I don't know what to do, Rob! I could win right now. I could win right now.
Could.
You know what?
You're gonna try.
You know what?
You're gonna gamble?
Why not do it? Why not do it at all? I don't know how to do it. So the question is, do I choose this guy who then gets to fight both of them and gets 2 chances to die, but also to kill? Or do I do this one? Because I only have 1 crystal. And just use it to boost the attack and then hope that you don't kill me back if I fail.
The choices.
I'm just doing this one. No, this one, because I don't want you to knock me off the crystal.
Okay.
This one will attack everything in base contact. I'm going to boost his first attack. If I kill you right now, I win.
1.
Yeah, I can't reroll, you know that.
Nope.
I can get a crystal back, though, for the defense. Oh, I got a 6! Which means you have to roll a 5 or higher, because I got a +3 and you got a +4.
Yep.
So the only way for you not to lose at this moment is to spend a crystal and roll a 5 or higher. At least you got enough crystals that if you roll a 1 or 2, you can re-roll it.
And come on!
Boom! You got a 5! Oh, you didn't even have to re-roll. I at least wanted you to force you to use it.
That's it. That's it.
Now you get to hit me back.
Oh yeah.
Hit me back? Are you going to boost it? You got a +1 versus my +1.
And you got no endurance left on them.
I don't, so you'd kill him and you'd get a victory point.
Ooh,
Yeah, you're going to boost it?
I need
Make the
it.
attack. You get a +1. I only get to use a yellow die.
I need it. Give me.
5. If I had to roll a 4 on this, and I have no way to re-roll it. So I have a 1 in 6 chance of staying alive.
Big 0.
Well, zeros. I want to see a 0 or a 4. Either I want a crystal back.
1.
4! I stand alive! I stand alive! Okay. Now I should point out, each of these combats, whoever's attacked has just been going first. In every situation, the initiative of the attacker has been higher than or equal to that of the defender. So I just want to remind you that it's not the attacker who always goes first. That'll be important for his turn because he has a lower initiative than these guys. So if he decides to attack me, I actually get to hit him first. But I am out of crystals. Rob, active or passive turn?
I could go passive because I'm on a crystal, but I'm going active. I need to because your victory points are up there already.
I'm just about ready to win.
Yeah.
Well, what's your plan with your active turn to prevent me from winning?
The Purge Doctors.
The Purge Doctors. Now just be careful. If they decide to attack a Bloodsmith, the Bloodsmith gets to hit them first. But I don't have any crystals to boost it.
No.
Okay, so let's do your turn. Yeah. You activating your Purge Doctors?
I'm activating the Purge Doctor.
You want to move them?
No.
Okay.
I do.
Now, just to point out, you do have the option to either move and initiate combat, or initiate combat and then move. So you can just declare right now that you're just initiating combat, and then if you decide later on you want to move them after they fight, you can. So, Rob, where would you like to fight first? Remembering that if I kill one of them, I win.
Yes.
So where would you like to fight first?
I am going to start with your Dark Scholar. So
him into the Dark Scholar?
Oh, yeah.
I still have an endurance on him, so you're not killing him, but you could knock off the endurance. You've got 1 crystal left.
I know.
Do you want to use that on the offense? The Dark Scholar is still a +1 defense, which is the same as your offense. So basically I have the advantage because you have to beat my roll.
It's getting very close that you may win, so I have no choice but to spell it.
So you get a +1. Roll it.
I can do it!
7. The only way I could boost that would be to spend a victory point or an endurance, so I'm not going to. So I'm just going to roll to see if I get a crystal back, which would be very handy.
1.
0! Yes, crystal. So I lose the endurance, and I get a crystal back. That seems to be better than using the endurance to try to not die. So now I can hit you back. +0 versus your +4. If I roll a yellow die, it's actually impossible for me to do it. So all I'm doing is giving you a chance to earn a crystal back. So I'm not going to hit you back. Now, it could also give me a chance to earn a crystal back, but I've already got a crystal.
Yes, you do.
So I am not going to hit you back. Actually, I should point out that I should have gone first. I had just explained how the initiatives matter. I have a higher initiative with the Dark Scholar, but I wouldn't have attacked you because I didn't have any crystals. And so all that would do is allow you to get more crystals as well. So it's the same outcome, but we should keep that in mind that whenever you choose to attack, I get to hit you first if I so choose. So, where would you like to fight next?
I'm going to do my second guy into your other Dark
Oh, you're trying to get my victory points away from winning?
Yes.
That's smart. It's smart. It's interesting. It says that a player may always decide not to counterattack, but it doesn't have any wording up here to give a choice. It seems weird that if you attack somebody with a higher initiative than you, they're forced to attack you first. So, what do you think? Should I be forced to attack you first? That could kill you.
You could.
Or should I just not have to attack if they don't want to? Should you always be able to give up your attack? I'm not sure what the official ruling is, so we're just kind of making one right now.
Yeah.
What do you think? You always have a choice?
No, I think you should have to attack because you're.
Well,
you're in
counterattack,
combat.
you have a choice.
Yes.
So if they have the higher initiative than you, then all of a sudden you get to choose whether you attack back, but you don't get to choose whether you attack first. It just seems strange that if you have a choice in one, not to have the other. If we disagree, we'll roll a die. I think that you should always have a choice. If you think that you shouldn't have a choice if you're the higher initiative, then we'll roll off. What do you think?
I think we should roll off because if you are in legit combat and you have a chance to go in and kill somebody, you kind of want to take that advantage, I would
Except there might be cases where I know I can't, like my +0 versus your +4.
Yeah, I think we'll do a roll off.
Okay, so 4+, you get your way.
All right,
Go
here
ahead.
it goes.
And we'll rule that. So 2.
Nope.
So I get my way. So I get to
Yep.
choose. In this case, because it's a Dark Scholar, I am not going to attack you first.
Do I get the?
No, you don't get you don't get the cog. You don't get a crystal back. So you have to attack me.
Yes.
So I'm not going to attack you at all. Then you attack me. So you go ahead and attack. Now you don't have any crystals. You could spend a victory point or an endurance on somebody to boost it instead.
To boost? Yeah, I'm going to spend one on my Angel of Death.
Okay, so you get to use the red die then for the attack. You have +1 versus my +1.
And it's...
A 1. So you can get a crystal back.
I do.
Okay, so you got a 2 in total. I'm just going to roll a yellow die, so I have to roll a 1 not to die. I do not die. So sad. Lastly, you have this one. Who would he like to attack?
I'm probably just going to try to... Too many choices. Dark Scholar again.
Dark Scholar.
Yep.
Okay, I will choose not to attack you first. You can use your crystal to boost it.
I am.
All right, so you get +1 versus my +1.
Up.
1 again, so you get a crystal back at least. I will not boost this.
My
Yes, I will.
rolling is horrible today.
I will boost it, which means I'm automatically going to succeed. So I want to roll a 1 or a 2 just to get a crystal back.
3.
You know, whatever. So I used my crystal to do that. Kept me alive, though. Do you want to move them now that you're done combat? Not going to move them?
No, it's getting close to the end with the victory points and,
Everything there.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just...
Any cards you want to use?
No, I want
to hold it before you discard them. If you're going to decide to go on a passive turn next, you might as well use your banner to refresh the endurance on the Angel of Death. If you know you're going to use a passive turn next turn.
Yes, that's right.
So do you want to do that? It's a nice thing. You can always spend an endurance on her to get an extra crystal, essentially.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
No?
No.
You're not sure if you want to go a passive the next turn
I
yet?
don't know yet. I'm waiting until your turn to find out what you're going to do.
Okay. So then, what are you going to do with your cards?
Just discard a card.
And then refresh back up to 3.
Yes.
I need a passive turn, so I refresh my banner, get all my crystals back, and I own 2 crystal sources right now. You are contesting the other 2, so I'm grabbing 2 more, Rob. I got all dem crystals.
Yep.
Active or passive turn, Rob?
All or nothing. I'm going for broke. I'm being active.
Okay.
I'm going to use my Purge Doctor again, or Doctors, I should say, and I'm going to attack this cluster yet again.
So who's going first?
I am going to him to the Scholar.
Okay. So I have to choose whether I'm going to hit you first. I've got lots of crystals now, but, I don't know. I only get a +0. I guess you're +4. So I could force you to use that. You know what? What the heck? I don't want to go. What am I worried about? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I get a +0. So I literally have to roll a 5 or a 6
2.
to have any chance of hurting you.
2.
Okay, you know what? I'll get my crystal back. I changed my mind. So you can still roll the yellow die really fast to see if you regenerate a crystal.
Yes.
And see, that's why I didn't want to do it, because now I'm just handing you crystal. So I'm back to where I was, and now you're 1 crystal higher. So now you can attack. You can use a crystal. You've got 2 of them now. I've got a +1 defense against your +1 attack.
I'm going to do it.
All
Why
right.
not?
Roll the die. Roll the die. Roll the die. You
I'm
get a
getting
+1.
5.
You get a +1. 4. Yeah, I'll spend a crystal because I have to roll the same as you basically. So I need to roll a 4 or higher on this die.
2.
5. I'm alive. I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Why?
Who's fighting next?
He's going to attack.
I'm not attacking. You just attack. See, right now you'd have no crystals. Would you like to spend a crystal to boost it?
No.
No. Okay, just going for the yellow die.
I'm going
You're
for
like,
the
hey, if I'm
yellow.
gonna roll low, I might as well just roll the yellow die,
That's
right?
right, because I usually get 0 every time I roll the yellow die.
+1. Oh, you got a 4. Ah. Well, I'm going to use a red die. So I had to roll a 3 or higher because a +1 will make it a 4. Which is a nice thing about this, just a nice thing, a 3+. Either I make it or I get a cog.
2.
I made it. You can crawl under there.
Yeah, see you later.
And the last Purge Doctor,
Yes.
Dark Skull again. I'm not
Yeah.
attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
Okay.
And that's not out of pity. You gonna use your last crystal?
Yeah, I have no choice. I have to do that. I
Yeah,
need
you
to
need
move
you need
this.
to keep me away from winning next turn, right?
That's right.
Go, go, go. 3. So you got a 4. Well, I will also use a red die because you rolled a 3, which means I have to roll 3+, or I get a cog. Booyah! Boo! Frickin'.
What is it?
I don't know. Mine aren't very strong, but my rolls are good.
It's
Yeah.
it's back and forth.
It was just the
It's-
Pilgrims. The Pilgrims had all the luck,
Yeah.
and then you lost the rest of it.
Yeah.
Any cards?
I am playing this card, the move.
Top. Move with all models. And no, hold on. Before you move these guys, you can already move them.
Yeah, I don't want to move them.
Okay, you want to move something else?
Yes.
All right. So who's taking the free move?
It's going to be the Holy Knight,
The Holy Knight.
and he moves 2, so he's just going here.
Hey, get off the crystal, man. Man, off the crystal. Any cards you can use?
No
You
more,
want
I'm
to
just
discard
going
one
to-
before you draw any?
No.
Nah.
Nah.
Nah. All right, my turn.
No.
I'm going active, man. I'm going for the win right here. First things first. I'm going to teleport. Cost me 1 crystal. Now the hard choice I have here is I want to teleport the Gore Hound. I'm going to basically go right here and then attack. I got a +3 in my Gore Hound. Or I could teleport the Son of Kyber and then activate him and go into rage mode. But then if you kill him, you get 4 victory. So that's a little too risky for me. So I'm going to teleport this Gore Hound right to here. Next up, I'm going to do the Gore Hound's Rush. Costs 1 crystal and allows him to do a backstab attack, which is an attack where you can't attack back. It's
I'd like to
Keep
say
it
one
PG.
thing.
Keep it PG, man.
Yep. Wait a minute. Oh, putting salt there. Close the wound over.
All right, here comes the Gore Hound. He's only a +3 against your +4 defense, but obviously I am going to spend a crystal to make it a red die.
Of course.
+3. So that's a 7. You get a +4, so you have to roll 3 or higher on one of the dice. You have no crystals left, but you could spend a victory point, which in this case, if you were to die, it wouldn't make a difference.
Nope.
Or you could spend an endurance on one of your existing guys.
Yep.
Angel of Death is going to take a hit,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to roll a red die, so you have to roll a 3 or higher.
Oh, I'm taking the other red die.
Okay, fine. 3 or higher.
And come on.
2. Hold it, it's a cog. So you're going to lose right now if you don't do this. So you can burn an endurance or a victory point, because you're going to lose the 2 victory points anyways, to re-roll that. Because remember, anytime that you can spend a crystal, you can always choose to spend an endurance on somebody or one of your victory points. So you might as well do it because you're going to lose. So what do you want to do? Burn an endurance?
I'm going to burn endurance from a Holy Knight.
From that Holy Knight who's not upgraded?
That's
or
right.
Oh no, you just burn it off the upgraded one.
Oh, yes.
So just grab it from the other one then and just put it on that guy. And re-roll that die! Can we see? What did you need? What did you need again? You needed a 3, right? Or
Yeah,
4?
3.
Or 4? Well, we'll look it up if you don't roll
Okay,
that.
here goes. Here
Go.
goes. Here goes.
2!
What?
He died! That means he's gone. He's worth 2 victory points, which I'm going to double check the rules for right now to make sure, and I possibly win.
No.
Let me double check. Let me double check.
No.
Yeah, I double checked. You get a number of victory points equal to the endurance of that squad. So, you know what? +4 in defense. They're hard to take down, so I guess they're worth that. And that is a demon victory! You almost killed the son of Kyber.
I know.
If you had killed him, that would have been quite the moral victory. Actually, it wouldn't just be a moral victory. It would have been 4 victory points, too. So you did well with your pilgrims, those filthy pilgrims.
But that's the only thing I did well with, was the pilgrims.
Yeah, yeah. So that is an example of the Edge Dawnfall. We're actually going to be playing another game. Not right now. You're going to see it in a separate video later. Not sure exactly when it's going to be posted. And then you can also watch the entire campaign. Now I have to warn you, and I'm going to say this, we're going to add something to the campaign as well. We didn't realize that the rule for the cog thing when we played the campaign, where you get to get a crystal back or get to reroll, it's a pretty big deal. But the campaign was still fun. It was still good. So we'll put that little warning there, because it does make a difference in the game. Yeah, Chapter vs. Demons. We're going to play 2 different armies for our next game that you'll see whenever it is published. So Rob will have a chance to try something else.
Oh, someone's calling me from the basement. I gotta go down and hide in the basement for a bit. I'll be back.
All right, see you, Rob. Oh, almost made it all the way.
Oh,
hi.
hey, I don't know.
Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to Awaken Realms for allowing us to play this game. Happy wargaming.